A wise man once said, "I would rather be a stick volunteer than in the stands, because that means I'm on the field with my son Nicholas and Brandon." This same man also loved the game of football almost as much as he loved his lovely wife and children. His name is Sergio Iannetta. In the confines of life, it is easy to resort to anger when a loved one is taken from us too soon. But even those who knew this superhero amongst men, we knew as Sergio, he would admit his smile first and happy-go-lucky attitude is what keeps all of us smiling in our times of darkness. This film you are about to see is in memory of Sergio, as a friendly reminder to us that this life we live is not only short, but should never, ever be taken for granted.
Just in case you guys don't know how close I was to Sergio, that was my motivation the whole year. So every time I opened my clipboard, I would always remember my friend. Because he was, when nobody else believed in me and nobody else trusted me except for that guy back there, he was the only guy that would go to bat for me on a constant basis. I miss him very, very, very much. But I know that he's proud of each and every one of you. Because that's all we talked about was our football team. He was like one of us.
Football, a sport on a sacred piece of grass better known as the gridiron. A sport that most people cannot dispute their love for, and a sport that unites us in ways most things cannot. It's a sport that requires a high passion level, an unparalleled level of endurance, and it requires strategic planning that can only be at the highest level, because on any given day, even the smallest guy with the biggest heart can knock down a Goliath. It is a true team sport where players rely on one another to accomplish what everyone seeks: victory. Players on football teams develop a real sense of camaraderie to the point of considering each other to be family. They grow together, they learn together. No loss in the game of football falls to the actions of one player. Teams on a regular basis rally together to support each other in their struggles and raise each other up in their moments of triumph. Football as a whole is the most popular sport in the United States, brought about in two main formats: college football and the National Football League. In Canada, we play a different style of football. Certain rules change, but the fundamentals of teamwork and support are ever present in the growing sport. While many recognize the Canadian Football League, it is apparent that the football culture does not just fall into something for professionals. Across the country, football is played by many in many different leagues. Children can start playing from the age of 6 in these leagues, but training can begin earlier at home. A child brought up in the world of football learns the fundamentals of teamwork, discipline, and responsibility. It is a game that brings emotion and growth to all who are a part of it. No life touched by football will ever be the same again. The mark it leaves is lasting, and the education it brings prepares those who are a part of it for the real world. William Butler Yeats, a poet, said, "Emotion is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire." From August 2014 to September of 16, the Bantams, led by head coach Gianfranco Sciarippa, had won 31 out of their 31 games under his control, with a point differential of almost 400 in that span, outscoring their opponents by an average of 21 points or 3 touchdowns per game. The coaching staff was at its largest in that span, and by the 2016 OFC summer season, the Rebels had 8 coaches dedicating their time toward winning a championship this organization has never even come close to winning. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows.
It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are. It will beat you up to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it.
You, me, or nobody is going to hit as hard as life.
But it ain't about how hard you hit.
It's about how hard you get hit and keep moving forward.
How much you can take and keep moving forward.
That's how winning is done.